Hey folks, it's Chili Beans here, wanting to make a video about 12 Tribes, this cult slash community that I was involved in for like 8 years of my life right after college. I had a cool topic that I thought would benefit people, and the question is the 12 Tribes a cult? So it's a good question. It's a totally valid question. Is the 12 Tribes a cult? So I think I found my own decision about that question like 2 to 3 years after I left the group. So I just wanted to go. I went online last night, did some research about what a cult actually is, like the criteria of what a cult would look like. So I found something from, here's my cult checklist. I found a website from the ICSA, which is the International Cultic Studies Association, and this article was from Steve Eichel, and yeah, so that's what he wrote it under the ICSA, and so he said it wasn't like an official scientific exact way to measure what a cult is, but when I read through the list, I thought it was really good criteria. So thank you, Mr. Eichel, for your list, and let's start. I have, 13 different ideas about a checklist about if it's a cult or not. So let's go through them one by one. So, number 1, they're focused on a leader, with unquestioning commitment. So I would say check. So the 12 Tribes follow Eugene Spriggs, also known as Yonak. He died in 2021 or 2022, I believe. So I don't know what their deal is now, but I know that that's where all the teachings came from. And that's who started the group back in the 70s. So checklist 1. Number 2, they are preoccupied. The group is preoccupied with bringing in new people. The 12 Tribes do that? Absolutely. Yes, that's like their prime goals as a disciple is to always meet new people and talk to them about what they're doing and looking for lost sheep. That's why part of the reason they have their cafes. They go out to events, all sorts of different things to meet people, to bring them back to the flock. So number 2, check. Number 3, they're preoccupied with making money. I'm not really sure. I mean, obviously, they definitely do a lot of things to make money. Like, they run cafes, they have building jobs, they've got farms, they've got a soap company, like different things like that they do to make money. I don't know. In my experience, I don't know if that was really a focal point. They didn't say it was, that's for sure. But I know that all the money was, none of the people who actually worked at these places got anything out of it, like besides their needs taken care of. So I don't really know if I can like really check that one with confidence. So we'll give it like a probably maybe thing. So that one's kind of wishy-washy, but there you go. Number 4, questioning or doubt or thinking your own ways is discouraged. So is that the case in the 12 Tribes? Absolutely. Yes. When you join the 12 Tribes, you are basically told to get rid of all the things that you've ever known and desired and thought about and believed in, and to adopt their way of thinking and believing. So yeah, you can't question or rise up against what the authority in the 12 Tribes say, or else you will be cut off or sent away. So yes, check mark on number 4. Number 5, mind numbing techniques. So in the example that he gave, it was like chanting or singing, meditations, speaking in tongues, or having difficult schedules. So the ones that I recognize would be like the singing and the dancing and the early mornings and the late nights and the difficult schedules. That was definitely true for me in that place. We woke up early. There was a lot of expectations on our life. There wasn't really time to like sit and contemplate and stuff like that. You really just had to like keep going. So I would check mark, especially for the difficult situations and the singing. So check mark on number 5. Number 6, leadership dictates how you think, act, feel, the clothes you wear, what you say, living arrangements, raising kids, where you live, just the choices that you make. So does the leadership dictate that in the 12 tribes? Yes, absolutely. They tell you what you can wear, how to dress, what kind of language to use, always what to eat. You're always living with the same people. Definitely the leadership dictates who you are as a person. So yes, check mark on number 6. Number 7, the group is elitist. That means they have like exalted status and they believe that they have a special purpose to save humanity. I would say check mark. It's definitely they believe that they're called and chosen, and they definitely believe that there's a whole thing that's going to be happening in the future, and they have a very high expectation of what the group is supposed to do to fulfill God's will on the earth. So I would say check mark on number 7. Number 8, having an us versus them mentality. Let's see. Yes, definitely. Yes. I mean, they basically, once you're in the group, you say that everyone that's in the group is saved and everyone out of the group is a lost sheep trying to find their master. And they say that the only way to overcome the evil one, which is lurking around in the whole entire world, is to be saved by the 12 tribes and be baptized and have a clean slate. So yes, definitely, it's definitely an us and them mentality that they share within the group. Yes, check mark on number 8. Number 9, the group leader is not accountable to any other authority. That was one I'm assuming that's the way it is there. But I guess I can't say from experience that I can for sure check mark that. I mean, I know he was exalted and like praised upon, and I heard different things that may or may not be true, but in my own experience, I don't know, so I'm not going to give it a check mark. Number 10, group think induces guilt in order to suppress and control. Check mark. Yes, there are so many different, we have teachings twice a day, and they just like rammed all sorts of like self-reflection type of teachings that you'd have to measure yourself towards what a good disciple is. So many different rules that you needed to follow, and life obviously isn't always cut and dry, easy peasy, like black and white. So there was, for me, I know there was always, that was a huge motivator for me, is to not have guilt. Because if you have guilt, then you're separate from the group and you don't have the spirit and all these things happen. So you really have to keep yourself in the right way of acting, living, believing, thinking to be able to be a part of the group spiritually and like even emotionally and physically, really. So guilt as motivating factor, check mark on number 10. Number 11, members of the group must give up their family, friends, goals, desires, all those types of things. Absolutely happening in the 12 tribes. Yes, absolutely. That's part of the criteria to even join, is you have to give up all those things. So check mark on number 11. Number 12, members are expected to devote all of their time to the group. So basically they don't have anything else going on. Check mark on number 12 as well. Once you're in the group, there's no outside anything. There's no outside time spending with other people. Everything, your whole life and your whole time and your whole is directed and within the community or the cult. So, check mark. Number 13, members are required to live and socialize only within the group. And that is also a check mark. Absolutely. Everyone lives together in a house or houses or on the same lot at least. Socially, that is also mostly true, although they do, have cafes and they go out and like evangelize other people, but it's not like they're hanging out with them or like getting to know them. They're trying to recruit them, so that's not exactly the same. So I would say check mark on number 13. are required to be only within the group. And I think I added this one. This is my addition to the whole thing. Number 14, no outside information or ideas from outside of the group, which is obviously a check mark. They have no books, no music, no internet, no television, no radio, no information or even toys or any influence from out of the world is just condemned and not accepted and not available. So that would be my addition to the list, and it's a big fat check mark for that one as well. So there you go. I think it pretty much got 12 out of 14 check marks for being a cult. So there you have it. Check out my other videos, like my channel, subscribe, and check out the links below. This is Jelly Beans heading out of here. Hope y'all are well. Comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Bye.